Detroit rap has been steadily rising as a prominent subgenre in hip hop, propelled by the relentless efforts of talented artists like Rio the Young OG, RMC Mike, Babytron, and way more people. However, amidst this waves, there's always one artist who stood out: Veeze. Known for his raw talent and unique approach to music, Veeze has been long hailed as one of Detroit's finest. Despite his reluctance to fully embrace rap and release music, his recent project, Ganger, marks a turning point in his career. In a recent interview with Our Generation Music that came out last year, Veeze himself admitted that he's been half-assing music in the past, but on his second LP and what feels like his first actual album, Veeze took his time crafting a great project. Well, it's been 3 years since he dropped his first project, Wavy Navy, which was lackluster considering how good Veeze actually is and can be. Veeze's popularity has actually skyrocketed since then due to his personality and great ear for beats. Outside of rap, Veeze is an unintentionally funny dude that's extremely likable, which makes it easy to root for him, whether it be random tweets or Instagram story rants.
Doc Rivers, you one of the lamest niggas in coaching history. You one of the real deal lamest niggas in coaching history. I put that on my granny's soul, bro.
There's always something hilarious that he's doing, and when it comes to rap, Veeze has seen his popularity rise from unreleased songs that have gone viral due to social media, or him being on some big tracks. Lil Baby's You Dig, features on Babyface Ray's album, or his 3 features on Lil Yachty's Michigan Boy Boat, not even to mention For Kobe or his most popular song Law and Order over the iconic sample. As the anticipation for Ganger reached its peak, Veeze had the weight of his fans' expectations on his shoulder. However, he didn't just deliver, he exceeded all doubts and crafted a project that solidifies his position as one of the best out of Detroit. When you give your fans an album that they've been anticipating for a while, it's hard to live up to the hype and expectations, but Veeze wanted to give his fans a project. That's it. And that's exactly what he did. The project is way more thought out and planned compared to Wavy Navy and previous music. From the great intro Not a Drill, which was accompanied with a great music video, it immediately gets you engaged with the hard-hitting beat and V sounding as hungry as I've ever seen him, instead of approaching it with his usual moody or lazy flow that he's known for. Not a Drill sets the bar high, and Veeze does a great job throughout Ganger keeping it up. Something I knew Veeze for was having a great ear for beats and rapping over beats with iconic samples. While it may not primarily be his thing, I was introduced to Veeze through Flamey Fox, a song that samples Kanye West's slow jams, and the popular song Law and Order, which you can guess what song that samples. While he doesn't make it his gimmick or anything on this project, I was happy to hear the flip on You Know Why of Bone Thug and Harmony's Thuggish Ruggish Bone, which also features a great change up at the end of the song, which is met with Veeze floating all over the beat. V said in his Our Generation Music interview that 98% of the stuff he does in recording and rapping he got from fellow Detroit artist Babyface Ray, which if there's a mentor to have from Detroit, Babyface Ray is a great one. Face and Mob were both great projects that were released last year in 2022, and there aren't too many artists in the game in general, in or outside of Detroit, that are better than Babyface at curating and creating projects. Something you could tell that Veeze may have took from Babyface Ray is when some of these regional artists, whether it be West Coast, East Coast, or from Michigan, they fall victim for every song sticking to the regional sound when making projects, and it leads to every song sounding the same. This isn't the case in Babyface Ray projects, and this definitely isn't the case with Ganger at all. For example, there isn't a single song on the album that sounds similar to Weekend, but features Veeze's typical flow over a slow-paced, traditional-sounding Detroit drum pattern, but it has a piano and acoustic guitar, which separates itself from the other beats, and Veeze in general did a great job at changing up the production and sound of songs while sticking to himself and being himself. When I first saw the track list and runtime, I was partially worried because having a great album with 21 songs and an hour runtime isn't the easiest task, especially without a bunch of features or stuff to bring variation to the music. Veeze's ability to change his cadence and his voice depending on the song helps separate each song from one another, and it keeps the album interesting. Another thing that artists sometimes do to prevent each song from sounding the same or to sell albums better is they sprinkle tons of features throughout the album, and this isn't something that's probably hard to do for someone like Veeze, considering how close the Detroit and Michigan scene are with each other, and considering the amount of cosigns he's gotten. But Veeze's Ganger only features 4 features in the 20 songs, unless you count the GOMD remix, then it's 5 and 21 songs, which still isn't a lot. The only complaint is I wish the tracks with features were spread out more, but every feature on the project was great and did their job. On Ganger, you can hear that Veeze stopped half-assing his music. Because of this, it also feels like instead of him sounding like he made hate rap or he's just coasting by, When he's taking it serious, it seems like he even had more fun making this project. I get the vibe from the quality of music and also the amount of voicemails that he had towards songs. Him laughing in the studio at the end of You Know Why, or Uzi telling us that the Watermelon Sour Patch Kids are out of style at the end of Sexy Liar. Also, the music videos were all great and well edited. GOMD was something that also helped popularize Veeze, and the track, everyone's heard the line.
I don't got time for 20 niggas, playing on my chain.
And besides that, as a fan, I'm happy that Veeze just didn't disappoint after we waited so long for the project, and he brought exactly what we expected from him. A bunch of great songs, and I'd even say there's not a single song on the project that's bad. I could live without Safe too, but I also want to give him points for trying something new. The content was something we'd grown to expect from most Detroit artists: girls, luxury, drugs, and a bunch of hilarious, clever lines. I would give this project an 8, 8.5 out of 10. I can't complain about anything that's on the album, and this is comfortably one of my favorite albums that's come